How's everybody doing? Good.
Good, Mayor.
Great. I just have a few updates I kind of wanted to share, and I'll just reserve the balance, the majority of time here for questions. Yesterday, we shared the external investigation related to the tornado sirens. It also included the days following the tornado and the cascading failures that were really outlined there in that report. We have already made several improvements, including automating our siren activations. The report itself is really going to serve as a guidepost to help us understand the deeper problems within the emergency management system, and we're going to use that to resolve these issues. I called for that external investigation on the days immediately following the tornado because I wanted us to get to the bottom of these issues, and we're going to use that report to do just that. There were some pretty excellent recommendations that came out of it, including fully staffing our emergency management team, establishing an incident response protocol, and establishing regular maintenance of sirens, as well as clarifying decision-making structures for emergencies, and we're going to be taking those recommendations very seriously and implementing moving forward. I also want to mention that we launched the zoning upgrade effort. We announced that we'll be launching that on September the 3rd. This is the first time since the 1950s the city has done a major rewrite of our zoning map and zoning code. This effort will include a full audit and diagnostic of existing zoning codes guided by the recently approved strategic land use plan, neighborhood plans, public stakeholder input, and it will include local and national best practices. One of the issues, one of the components here, the neighborhood plans that have already started, we're already really focused on the areas that were impacted by the tornado. That is just happenstance. That's not something that was directed by my office, but was in place before I got here. And it is serendipitous in a way because those efforts will really be able to help us, not just in neighborhood planning in a general sense, but in the rebuild effort following the May 16th tornado. I also want to mention, while this is a media availability, we're going to have some important announcements coming out of our recovery office later this week. So I won't be able to speak about all those today, but we'll have some more news on that front by the end of the week. I think that pretty much covers the main updates I wanted to offer. I'll also just say, we, as we've kind of gone through, as we're digesting where we were in the aftermath of the tornado, and sort of some of the failures here, I also just want to lift up some of the work that the volunteers and the broader community really helped shore up. While I'm incredibly proud of the work that city workers did in the days, weeks, and months following the tornado, and members of the mayor's office, many of whom are here today, where we're working 16-hour days in the immediate aftermath, I'm incredibly proud of many aspects of our city government following the days following the tornado, the weeks, months, and many members of the city staff, including the refuse department, forestry, a whole host of city departments that really worked overtime on that front. And the volunteer community who really stepped up and did an enormous lift in serving the community in our time of need, particularly members of the Black Lives Matter community. And I just want to say, was really disappointed in the Post-Dispatch's editorial on that matter the other day. There's been so many members of the Black Lives Matter community that have stepped up, in particular when city government was unable to serve its community in the way that our community needed. That's not to diminish the work of city workers or our city workforce in any way, shape, or form, because I know with the staffing we had, so many folks were working tirelessly. Everyone had a role to play here, and many, many members of our community, including the private sector, so many of our corporate partners stepped up. Our community came together in a way that I have not seen in my lifetime. And while it's not nearly enough to address the needs of our community, we had partners from every sector who really stepped up in our community's time of need. And I'm incredibly proud and grateful to everyone on that front.